I do not remember the exact time or place when I met Lee. It was many years ago. My memory is not strong now. But I remember her. I remember her face, her voice, and the way she looked at me. I think we met in an old city near the Rhine River in Germany. It was a quiet, beautiful place. The buildings were old, and the streets were full of history. That city is where our story began. Lee was not like other people. She moved in a quiet and graceful way. Her footsteps made no sound. When she came into a room, I did not hear her. I only knew she was there when she spoke to me or touched my shoulder. Her hand was always soft and cold like snow. Lee had a beautiful face, but not in the usual way. Her skin was very white, like ivory. Her hair was long and black. It was thick and always very clean. Her eyebrows and eyelashes were also black. Her nose was long and elegant. Her lips were red and soft. She smiled sometimes, and when she did, her white teeth showed gently, but the most special part of her face was her eyes. Lee's eyes were large, much larger than normal. They were dark, deep, and full of mystery. Sometimes, when she was excited, her eyes became wide, like the eyes of a deer. When I looked into them, I always felt something powerful. Her eyes made me think about many things. I spent many nights trying to understand the feeling they gave me. Her eyes were beautiful, but there was something strange in them too. I never found the answer. Sometimes, I thought I almost understood. But then, the feeling disappeared again. Lee was very smart. She could speak and read Latin and Greek. She also knew many other languages. She never made mistakes. Lee was also a student of science and mathematics. She loved to learn. After we got married, I often asked her to help me with my own studies. We read books together. We wrote notes. Sometimes, we sat for hours in the library, saying nothing, just reading, thinking, and learning. Lee liked silence. She says silence helped her understand the world better. I like silence too. I think that is one reason we loved each other. We could be together in the same room, not talking, but still feeling close. We also liked walking in the garden behind our house. In the evenings, we drank tea near the window. We watched the stars. We did not need to talk much. Her presence was enough for me. But then, Lee became ill. At first, she looked tired. Her steps were slower. Her voice became weak. She did not smile as much. Her skin became very pale. Her hands were colder than before. Slowly, she stopped coming to the library with me. I studied alone. I missed her voice. I missed her mind. Even when she was sick, she tried to help me. She still answered my questions and corrected my work. But I could see she was getting worse. I watched her fight against her illness. She did not give up easily. There was a strong will inside her. She wanted to live. She wanted to stay with me. One night, she held my hands. Her eyes were tired, but still full of light. She looked at me and said, "I love you. I am not ready to leave you. I want more time." Her words broke my heart, but I could not stop what was coming. Lee died. She died in the same city where we first met. The city near the Rhine River, the city that held all our memories. I stayed there for a short time. Every street, every book, every room reminded me of her. I could not walk in the garden. I could not drink tea alone. The silence which we once loved became too heavy. It was not peaceful anymore. It was empty. So I left. I did not know where I was going. I just knew I had to go. I had to find a new place. I had to find a way to live without her. But no matter where I went, her memory followed me. Her face, her voice, her eyes, they stayed in my mind. And I knew, deep inside, that my love for Lee would never disappear. After Lee died, I could not stay in a city near the Rhine River. Every street, every room, and every book reminded me of her. The city was full of her voice, her smile, and her memory. It was too painful for me to stay. So I left. I walked away from everything. I wanted to forget, but I could not. For several months, I traveled alone. I did not speak much. I did not study. I simply walked, ate little, and slept in small inns. I looked at the sky, the trees, the rivers. But nothing felt real to me. The world had lost its color. My heart was cold. I was a man who had lost everything. Finally, I came to England. I bought an old abbey far from any town or village. It was large and quiet. It had tall stone walls, narrow windows, and long dark halls. The place was empty, but it felt right. I thought it was the perfect home for someone who wanted to be alone. Someone like me. The abbey had a high tower. The air was cold and the wind always made sounds through the windows. I tried to change the feeling of the place. I put bright curtains on the windows. I bought carpets with red and gold patterns. I added candles and flowers. I thought maybe these colors would help my heart feel warm again. But nothing changed inside me. The silence was still heavy. The nights were still long. My thoughts were still full of Lee. So I began writing letters to her. Every night, I sat in my room and wrote what I was thinking. I wrote about the days without her. I wrote about the pain in my chest. I wrote about the dreams I had, dreams where she was still alive. Writing to her helped a little. It felt like she was still near me. One day, I met a woman named Lady Rowena Trevanion. She was kind and calm. She had blue eyes and soft blonde hair. She smiled often and spoke gently. She was very different from Lee. Lee had been strong, serious, and quiet. Rowena was sweet, simple, and open. I thought, perhaps, I could start a new life with her. So, I married Rowena. I wanted to believe in love again. I wanted to feel normal. We moved into the tower room in the abbey. It was very large. There was a huge glass window made in Venice. The ceiling was high like a church. There were beautiful carpets, Indian beds, and golden lamps. Everything looked rich and warm, but my heart was still far away. Rowena was afraid of the tower. She said it felt cold. She said she heard strange sounds at night. Sometimes she felt someone was walking in the room while she slept. I told her it was just the wind. The old building always made sounds. But deep inside, I was not sure. Sometimes I also felt something strange. Rowena and I were not close. She was my wife, but we were like two strangers. I did not love her the way I loved Lee. I tried to be kind, but my heart was tired. I was still thinking about the past. Then, Rowena became ill. At first, she could not sleep. She felt cold. She had bad dreams. She said she heard whispers and soft footsteps in the night. Her face became pale. She looked weaker each day. I brought doctors to help her, but they could not find the reason. They gave her medicine, but she did not get better. One night, she woke up in fear. She said, "I hear something. Someone is here." I listened, but I heard nothing. I looked around the room. The curtains were moving in the wind. The shadows were dancing on the floor. I said, "There is nothing, my dear. You are just tired." She looked at me with fear in her eyes. Her body shook. Her skin was cold. I walked to the other side of the room. I passed under the chandelier. Suddenly I felt something strange, something cold and invisible.
It moved past me. I looked down and saw a shadow on the carpet. But no one was there. I did not tell Rowena. I poured her a glass of wine. Just before she drank it, I thought I saw red drops fall into the glass. The drops were bright like blood. Rowena did not notice. She drank the wine slowly and closed her eyes.
That night, her sickness grew worse. Her body was weak. Her breathing was soft. Her skin was white. On the third night, she died. The servants prepared her body. They washed her face and covered her with a white sheet. Then they left the room. I stayed alone with her. The room was quiet. The night was long. And in the silence, I began to feel something was not over. That night, I sat alone in the large tower room. Lady Rowena's body was lying on the bed. The room was quiet. The candles were burning low. The The wind outside made soft sounds. The long curtains on the wall moved gently. I looked at the bed. Her face was white. Her hands were still. I believed she was gone. But then, something strange happened. It was almost midnight. I heard a soft sound. It was like a sigh. It was quiet, but it was real. I looked quickly at the bed. I saw her lips move. I waited. I saw a little color come back to her cheeks. Her neck turned pink. Her heart beat once. Then it stopped again. I could not believe it. Was she alive? I went to the bed and held her hand. It was warmer than before. Her body was not so cold. I called her name. I listened closely. But soon, her body became cold again. The color disappeared. Her lips were still. I sat down, confused and afraid. My heart was full of fear, but also full of hope. After some time, I heard the sound again. It was the same soft sigh. This time, her lips opened a little. I saw her white teeth. Her face was no longer empty. Her skin had a soft pink color. Her heart beat again. I did everything I could to help her. But once again, her body turned cold. She stopped breathing. Her heart became still. I felt like I was going mad. Then, it happened a third time. Another soft sound. Another breath. Again, her body changed. Her cheeks became pink. Her chest moved slowly. Her eyes stayed closed, but her body looked alive. I was tired. My hands were shaking. My mind could not understand what was happening. Suddenly, Rowena got out of bed. She moved slowly like a person walking in their sleep. She did not speak. She did not look at me. She walked to the center of the room and stopped under the big chandelier. I did not move. I was frozen in my chair. My body was still like a stone. I looked at her carefully. Her blonde hair was gone. Now, her hair was black. It was long and dark, darker than the night outside. It moved in the wind from the window. Then her eyes opened. They were not blue. They were black, large, deep, and full of something I remembered. I knew those eyes. I had seen them before many times. I knew that look. It was not Rowena standing in front of me now. It was Lee. I stood up and cried out, "These are Lee's eyes." The woman in front of me said nothing. She looked at me. She was calm, quiet, but powerful. I felt something in the room change. The air became heavy. The shadows moved on the walls. My heart was beating fast. My legs were weak. I asked myself many questions. Was this a dream? Was this a ghost? Was Lee really standing in front of me again? I remembered something Lee had once said. It was long ago on a quiet night. She looked at me and whispered, "Even if I die, I will come back to you. Love is stronger than death." Now I believed her. I did not know how. I did not know why. But I felt her presence. I knew it was her. It was not only her eyes, her hair, or her face. It was the feeling she brought with her. It was the deep, quiet energy that Lee always had. It filled the room. It filled my heart. Maybe her love was too strong to disappear. Maybe my memory of her was too powerful to stay silent. Maybe together our love had called her back. Rowena was gone. Her body had changed. Her voice, her hair, her soul, it was no longer hers. I did not see a second wife now. I saw only Lee. I do not know if others would believe this story. Some may think it was only a dream. Some may say I was mad with grief. But I know what I saw. I know what I felt. Lee returned. Not with words, not with light, but with silence and eyes full of love and mystery. She did not need to speak. I understood everything. And in that moment, I knew. Love never dies, not true love. It waits. It watches. And sometimes it finds its way back. Even through the dark. Even through death. This story was about a man who loved a woman named Lee. She was special, quiet, and full of mystery. Lee was not only his wife, but also his friend and teacher. She was smart and strong. Even when she was sick, she never gave up. She fought to stay alive because she loved him deeply. When she died, the man was lost. He tried to move on. He married another woman, Lady Rowena. But his heart still belonged to Lee. He could not forget her. In his new home, strange things started to happen. Rowena became sick. She heard voices. She felt afraid. One night, she died. But then, something even more strange happened. Rowena's body moved. She came back to life, again and again. Slowly she changed. Her blonde hair turned black, her blue eyes turned dark. And then the man saw it clearly, this was not Rowena anymore. Love had brought her back, not with words but with presence. With silence, with power. This story teaches us something very important. True love never dies. When love is real, it stays in the heart, even after death, even after time. It lives in memory, in dreams, in silence. Love is stronger than pain, fear, and even death. In life, we lose people, we feel sadness. But love gives us strength, it helps us heal. It reminds us of who we are and who we once loved. So remember, if you love someone, love them deeply. Don't wait to say kind words, don't wait to show care. Because even if life takes them away, love will always remain. Congratulations for listening to the whole story. You have improved your English listening and reading skills by following this beautiful and emotional tale. Well done. Now, here's a quick question for you. What made Lee different from other women? A. Her black eyes and quiet strength. B. Her love for money and fame. Please comment your answer A or B below. We'd love to hear what you think. If you enjoyed this story and want more like it, please subscribe to our channel. It really helps us keep going. And if you want to support us further, feel free to donate. Creating free content takes time and heart. In the beginning, it's hard. But with your support, we can continue making meaningful English stories to help you learn and grow. Thank you so much. See you in the next story.